A sit-in in the Sudanese capital turned deadly on Monday when at least 9 people were shot and killed in Khartoum as Sudanese security forces attempted to disperse the protest outside the defense ministry. A medical association affiliated with the protesters says several people were also injured as government troops tried to break up the demonstration. The U.S. Embassy in Khartoum tweeted that the attacks on protesters must stop. The sit-in started several weeks ago as civilian and military officials argue over the makeup of a transitional government following the military's overthrow of Omar al-Bashir in April after mass protests against the 30-year rule. The demonstrators are demanding the military hand over power to a civilian administration. Now, for more perspective on the ongoing political crisis in Sudan, journalist Jason Patinkin joins me live via Skype from Khartoum. Good evening, Jason, and welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, Jason, this breakup today and the ongoing crisis, the killing, may intimidate some, but I'm just wondering what kind of pressure does the protesters, the coalition of protesters need or can put in against the military council to change things that we are beginning to see unfold in Khartoum?
Well, there is now a big uphill battle for the pro-democracy protesters. This was unprecedented, this raid, this attack on the sit-in. Footage has shown tents burned, stages burned, and that's certain to demoralize many people because the sit-in really was the center, the heartbeat of this revolution. So with that potentially gone, the protesters will have to find another way to mobilize. They have used a strike last week, which was quite successful in showing the military council that the people of Sudan were firmly in favor of civilian rule and did not want continuation of military rule. So they may have the option of continuing strikes. They have said that they want to carry out further civil disobedience, and that could mean people not going to work, people going to work but refusing to do their jobs. It could mean, the public sector, civil servants not carrying out their duties. Already today, flights were canceled in and out of Khartoum as pilots basically went on strike in protest of the violence this morning.
Now,
so
Jason,
the protest leaders still have the streets. Yeah.
There are reports also of foreign influence on the military council. What are you hearing?
Absolutely, and the big influence comes from the Gulf states, specifically the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, as well as Egypt to the north of Sudan. And those 3 countries have been very clear about their support for the military council. They pledged, I believe, $3 billion to the military council, and some of that money has already arrived. The top leaders, basically the presidents and the vice presidents of Sudan, have both gone and visited those leaders. So there's a lot of support coming from these powerful Gulf allies who, as we see from their involvement in the war in Yemen or the crackdown on pro-democracy protesters in Egypt, really have no qualms about shedding blood to get the political to achieve the political goals that they have.
Maybe 20 seconds, Jason. The U.S. has weighed in at the embassy in Khartoum. Is it in a position really to mediate either side?
No, the U.S. has really not seized this opportunity presented by these unprecedented protests to play a significant role and to influence events. The Charge d'Affaires here has made few comments. Right. He's met with
Jason.
Leaders of the military council, so there's very little that the U.S. can do at this point.
Thank you, Jason. Jason Patinkin is a journalist speaking with us live via Skype from Khartoum.